Hidden in the markets of Wyrmhall is an artefact cleaning shop, and you're going to be taking over it for a week whilst the owner goes on holiday. And this is the setup for Wyrmhall, Brush and Banter, a cute, wholesome, comedic, clean 'em up, conversational short that takes a couple of hours to get through, but there's multiple endings to unlock, and it all depends on how well you chat to your customers and how well you clean up their artefacts. This game is split into two very distinct portions as you interact with each customer that makes their grand entrance one after the other across the course of 7 days. Now, when the customer arrives, you'll embark in conversation, and depending on what you choose in some of those conversational prompts will determine the outcome as to whether that person becomes a regular customer, or maybe you might refuse to clean one of their artifacts and therefore they don't come back again. And depending on what you do with all of these different characters and some of the information you reveal will largely depend on whether or not you'll get repeat customers coming back or kind of start locking you into certain types of endings. The main kind of gameplay element of Wyrmhall, Brush and Banter, though, is the cleaning aspect. And you have 5 different objects that you can pick up to kind of clean or mend things over time. The large trio that you'll be using the most are an orange brush to get rid of orange dirt drops, a green rag to get rid of curly grass, and then there are mites that need to be put inside the blue bag. You will also unlock tweezers as well, and there's a cool magic mirror that you can kind of pan around to find some other alternative, like blue worms and things like that to collect too. Depending on how well you do will depend on also whether or not the customer will pay you enough money or whether they'll come back again. And sometimes perfect isn't always the right answer, because sometimes you might want to actually give a bad customer service for a client so that they don't come back and stop annoying you. But that again locks you into certain endings depending on what you do. The beauty of Wyrmhall is all in the writing. All of the characters are vibrant, comedic. They've got stilted humour to them. A couple of them have got main protagonist villain going on. And I particularly like the way how each of the customers usually shuffle in and then very suspiciously shuffle back out again, particularly the ones with the dark amulet or the crazy spider that keeps bringing you objects that if you touch certain bits will kill you. There's definitely a cultural kind of send up of lots of different tropes that you find in fantasy adventure games, which I particularly enjoyed. I like the fact that there's a sword that is the artifact but can't clean itself because it's a sword, and then it's oh well, now I want to come back with all my friends. And then there's a mouse catcher, but the mouse is inside the artifact and you get to choose whether or not you want to rat out the mouse or not, and then that devolves into their own little subplots. And there is an overarching Wyrmhall's in danger plot that isn't fully revealed because it depends very much on your choices as to how this all comes out. But it all comes together in a really well rounded package that is engaging, humorous, light-hearted, but also very replayable, because the endings and all of the different characters that you interact with will all have their own little mini arcs, and it's up to you to choose which ones you want to pursue in each of the run-throughs that you get. Over the course of the week, you'll end up getting to the end, and then you'll get to go again, and there's plenty of fun to be had. I really enjoyed my term with Wyrmhall, Brush and Banter, and it's definitely up there with some of my favourite clean 'em ups, which seems to be this little tiny subgenre of a subgenre going on at the moment. But this is succinct, doesn't outstay its welcome, and lands a punch with the narrative. So 2 thumbs up from me. Wyrmhall, Brush and Banter is out now.